There is a version of Fernando Torres that everyone remembers. The one who ran onto a through ball in the final of Euro 2008. The one who rounded the goalkeeper. The one who slid the ball into the net and gave Spain their first major trophy in 44 years. The one who ran towards the corner flag with his arms outstretched and his face saying everything that words never could. And then there is the rest of the story. Welcome back to The Last Boot. The channel where football is more than a game. It is emotion. It is history. It is the human story behind every goal and every heartbreak. I am so glad you are here today. If you are new here, please subscribe and join the Last Boot family. We are growing every single day and I do not want you to miss a single story. Today we are talking about one of the most beloved and most heartbreaking careers in the history of football. Fernando Torres. El Nino. Let us continue. Fernando José Torres Sanz was born on the 20th of March 1984 in Fuenlabrada, a suburb on the outskirts of Madrid. He grew up an Atlético Madrid fan in the truest, deepest sense, not just supporting the club but living it, breathing it, feeling it in a way that only those who truly belong to a club can understand. He joined Atlético's academy as a child. And at 16, while still a teenager, he was playing for the first team. By 17 he was the captain. The youngest captain in the club's history. A boy leading men. And doing it with a maturity and a presence that made the appointment feel not just reasonable but inevitable. At Atlético, Torres was electric. Pace that terrified defenders. Movement that created space where no space existed. A finishing technique, particularly his ability to round goalkeepers and slide the ball into an empty net, that was almost unique in world football. He scored 91 goals for the club that owned his heart. And in 2007, in a transfer that broke those hearts, he left for Liverpool. At Anfield, Torres became something close to a phenomenon. In his first season he scored 33 goals. In a Liverpool shirt. 33. For a club that had not had a striker of that caliber in a generation. The chemistry with Steven Gerrard was immediate and electric. The goals were stunning. The performances were breathtaking. And for 2 seasons, 2007 to 2009, Fernando Torres was arguably the best striker in the world. And then the injuries came. A series of knee problems robbed him of the pace that had been his greatest weapon. The player who came back was still technically gifted, still intelligent, still hard-working, but something essential had been lost. Something that could not be recovered. His £50 million move to Chelsea in 2011, at the time a British record transfer fee, became one of the most talked about disappointments in football history. Not because he did not try. Not because he did not care. But because the player Chelsea paid for was no longer fully available. The body had taken what the spirit was willing to give. But for Spain, for the national team he represented with such distinction, Torres delivered when it mattered most. Euro 2008. The final against Germany. 1-0. Extra time looming. And Torres running onto a Xavi through ball, outpacing the German defense, rounding the goalkeeper, scoring the goal that gave Spain their first major trophy since 1964. 2 years later, the 2010 World Cup. Torres scored. Spain won. He was part of history again. 2 years after that, Euro 2012. Spain won again. Torres scored in the final. Named the tournament's best player. 3 consecutive major international titles. And Torres, despite his club struggles, was there for all of them, scoring in every final. He retired in 2019. Back at Atlético Madrid, where it had all begun, where he belonged. Fernando Torres, El Nino, the boy who gave Spain a moment they had waited 44 years for. The striker who showed that even when a career does not go exactly as planned, some moments are enough to last forever. That is it for today's story on The Last Boot. If this video moved you, please give it a big thumbs up. Share this with every football fan you know. Hit subscribe and join the Last Boot family. Drop your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video. Until then, keep the passion alive.